Building a software application used to mean months of coding, expensive developers, and endless technical complexity. Salesforce changed that. Inside the platform, there is a visual workbench where you can assemble entire application the way you'd arrange furniture in a room by dragging, dropping, and clicking. You define how your data is structured, book and see how your screens look, and what happens automatically when certain conditions are met. No programming degree required, just an idea, and the platform does the heavy lifting. Salesforce doesn't live in isolation. It connects to the outside world through a system of open doorways called APIs. Think of an API like a universal plug socket. Any external application, your ERP system, your marketing tool, your mobile app, can plug in and exchange the data with Salesforce in real time. Information flows in both directions constantly, reliably. Your ecosystem stays connected even as it grows more complex. When you need to find the data inside Salesforce, you have two tools, each built for a different kind of question. The first, the SQL, is like asking a very specific question. Show me all accounts in France with more than 500 employees. It goes to exactly the right place and brings back exactly what you asked for. The second is social. It's like using a search engine across your entire business. Find anything related to John Smith contacts, accounts, cases, opportunities. It finds out across everything at once and returns every match ranked by relevance. Sometimes your business rules are too complex for click and drag and drop. That's where Apex comes in. Salesforce is own programming language built specifically for the platform. Think of Apex like a smart assistant you can program with a very specific instructions. When a deal closes above 100,000, automatically create a contract, notify the legal team, and update the revenue forecast. As written, those instructions run automatically for every user, every time, without anyone having to think about it again. Every time someone searches or loads a page in Salesforce, the platform runs a query, a request for data, with millions of records that could be dangerously slow. So Salesforce has a built-in intelligence layer that intercepts every query before it runs. It checks who is asking, what they are allowed to see, and which path through the data will be fastest. Then it chooses the most efficient route automatically, invisibly, every single time. You never wait, you never notice, it just works. Salesforce runs two completely separate engines side by side, one for handling your day to day transactions and a dedicated one purely for search. Why separate? Because search is a different kind of problem. As records are created and updated, the background indexing system quietly catalogs everything like a librarian who never sleeps, constantly updating the index. When you type a search, the platform doesn't scan every record from scratch. It consults the index, applies your security permissions, and returns ranked results in milliseconds. Imagine needing to update 50,000 customers' records. Doing it one by one would take hours and put enormous strain on the system. Salesforce has a bulk processing engine built specifically for this. Instead of processing records individually, it groups them into large batches and handles them all in one efficient sweep. It is the difference between making 50,000 individual tips to the grocery store versus loading everything into one truck. And if some records have errors, the platform isolates the faulty ones, processes everything else successfully, and flags the exceptions. So, in most traditional systems, changing the structure of your database, adding a new field, renaming a column requires taking the system offline. Everyone stop, work halts. IT sends an email apologizing for downtime. In Salesforce, that never happens. When your administrator adds a new field, the platform makes the change in the background while everyone continues working normally. Users are reading records, saving data, running reports, and the architecture is quietly evolving underneath. Then, nobody pauses, nobody notices. Because thousands of companies share the same platform, Salesforce has to ensure that no single company can accidentally or intentionally consume resources at the expense of others. It does this through a system of automatic limits called governors. Think of it like a circuit breaker in your home. If one appliance starts drawing too much power, the breaker trips, protecting everything else. In Salesforce, if a process starts consuming too many resources, the platform contains it instantly before it can affect any other tenant. Everyone stays protected, everything keeps running. Deleting a record in Salesforce is not permanent, at least not immediately. When something is deleted, it doesn't vanish. It moves into a holding area called the recycle bin, where it quietly waits for 15 days. During that time, anyone with the right permissions can restore it, bringing it back exactly as it was with all its related records intact. If a parent record is deleted, say an account with dozens of linked contacts and cases, all of those related records come along for the ride. Restore the parent and everything comes back together automatically, as if it never left. Salesforce isn't just a place to store your business data, it is a complete development platform built to be flexible enough for a small team, powerful enough for a global enterprise, and intelligent enough to protect everyone in between.